Hey, what's up? Got a deck profile for you today, and it is a revisited one. Supreme Kai of Time is still one of my favourite decks to play, and since my last deck profile, a few new cards have been released, and a few more promos have been a little bit more accessible thanks to good old Mythic Booster. So I've changed it up a little bit, but the strategy is still largely the same. Obviously you want to overwhelm, and you want to defend your life so that you can crit your own life to make your overwhelm stick around, which is why I've gone heavy on negates and blockers. So let's get into the stuff that is still the same first, and then we'll talk about new stuff. So obviously for Unison's Demigra is integral, and then we have 4 Go-Tens, they find a Unison, because if you don't start with a Unison in your hand, you don't have a bad time. Overwhelm 2s, mostly in case we whiff on finding a Unison. So Go-Ten, Trunks, and Toa. I only have 2 Toa, but I like Toa better than Go-Ten and Trunks. Go-Ten and Trunks do have their uses. They draw a card, and Trunks can be useful if you need to get rid of a Unison because he's got double strike, but a 10k crit's usually, not that great. But you do draw a card off it, so you could combo the card that you draw. We have Supreme Kai of Time. Time Regulator is both draw power and a blocker, and for more draw power we have Vegeta Time Regulator. The thing about Vegeta is you don't really need to play him until you've awakened. If you play him before you've awakened, you're going to make it harder to awaken. And for more draw power and the first of our overwhelms, we have 2 Trunks, Solitary Guardian. I used to run the Bardock that was largely the same, overwhelm 20k and draws 2 and then you drop 1. But Trunks is more relevant to the deck now, and you'll see why later. If I had a 3rd copy, I would probably run a 3rd copy. SS4 Son Goku thwarting the Dark Empire. It used to be at 4, and I only dropped it to 3 for space, really. And SS4 Vegeta thwarting the Dark Empire. One of our favourite cards to attack with. Critical and warps a 4-drop or less. 2 SS4 Vegeta Feigned Greeting. A nice little bit of hand destruction. Now, you'll notice that all the Gokus and Vegetas so far were 30k attackers. Now we have some 25k attackers with Man on a Mission. 3 of those. Oh, that's 20k. And then we have a little bit more removal for Vegeta, SS3 Vegeta, Unstoppable Evolution. Now into the Mythic Booster surplus. We got 2 Goku Beyond Limits, kind of draw power in a way, get something back from your warp that you might have accidentally burst. And we have 2 copies of Masked Saiyan Brainwash No More. A very good little, they go all in on a double strike and you just crit a life and then the other damage doesn't go through. Now, what we have next is very obvious and it's very memed. It's, everyone's like, oh, I got Spice and this is what it is, and it's very obvious. But it is a strong card, and thanks to Mythic Booster I actually have some now, because until then it was a very expensive card to have. So we have 4 SS3 Gogeta thwarting the Dark Empire. Enough said, really. We've got lots of Gokus and Vegetas to fuse using with it. What we have now is a 1 of, and I would have 2 of if I had a 2nd copy. Vegex Mastery Emerged. Now the thing about both Gogeta and Vegex is you don't have to overwhelm to play them. Now that's important because this deck does not like blue. You try to overwhelm and they God Sealing Technique you, your turn is done. You can't play any more battle cards. So it is good to get a little bit of stuff in there that can be played without overwhelming. And Vegex is a good defensive card as well. It's kind of like a deadly defender. Secret Rare. Until recently I didn't have a Secret Rare that worked in this deck, but now we have Pan. Time Patrol Maiden. Very good Secret Rare. No more to say about that. It's an obvious choice. Super combos, obviously 4 super combos. Now I only run a 2-2 split of Goten and Supreme Kai of Time because I like the foiling on Supreme Kai of Time, and I have 2 foil Gotens. If you were smart, you would just run 4 Gotens because these Supreme Kai of Times have 0 combo power until the effect takes over, so cards that negate effects can ruin that. And then for defense, we have 4 Supreme Kai of Time, Labyrinth Unleashed, And 4 instant transmission 10 times, Kamehameha. Negates the attack and refuels your drop. Great for an overarm deck. Alright guys, so that is the new and improved Supreme Kai of Time deck. I hope you like it. I'm finding it very fun. Like I said, if I got a second copy of that Vegeks card, I would throw that in, and I'd get a third copy of that Trunks card. What would I take out? I'm not too sure. The deck count at the moment is 56 cards. I think that's a good count. You could probably go more. It's a deck you want to have more than 50 because it does get pretty thin by the time the game's starting to come to a close, so you don't want to mill yourself out. Alright, I hope you enjoy playing that or seeing what my thoughts on that deck is. And if you like this deck profile, give the video a like please, and be sure to subscribe because I've got more profiles and deck diaries and all sorts of things coming up. I'm going to revisit another of my favourite decks soon, and I've got some Universe 6 related things coming. Alright, I'll see you guys then.